when the whole universe was projected in different dimensions and started to create different perspectives of itself, the most important dimension that we had to create more perspectives to see who we really are was the sixth dimension. The sixth dimension would be 6 spheres that represents the pattern of life in the universe. That's why the flower of life is 6, and the water, when it froze, it gets shape of the 6. So it's the main structure of creation of every living being in the universe. And then by polarity, to have a being living in between time and space, the 6 patterns of time has to split in 6 parts of space. So then you have the 12 phases or the 12 beings, Elohim, that creates every being in the whole universe. That's why the 6th dimension is the dimension of architects. These architects were divided in different trinities and different beings that we call the seeds of life or the seeds of the universe. And these big creations, these big spheres, are the first beings that are holding the creation and the project of bringing life to the 3rd dimension, to the 4th dimension, and the 5th dimension. These beings are called the Elohim. Normally people used to call them like that, like if they were human-shaped beings or angels, but the first ones really were big bodies in the universe with a spheric shape that start to divide itself like different cells, like an egg in the womb of a mother. So it starts to split in different thousands and thousands of cells. So each one of us comes from one Elohim. The Elohim were divided in different frequencies, different vibrations, so each one of them also were called like different rays in the universe. So these different rays of light, these different rays of colors that were filling the universe start to create what we call the idea of archangels. Archangels is the way that we used to call the Elohim in other vibration. So to understand who they are, to understand these first beings, we need to understand that they are the biggest body in the universe that you could possibly imagine, and that you are a cell inside of this body. We all know of these ideas, like for example in Greece, the idea of Kronos. Kronos was the god of time, and he had all his kids through dividing the parts of its body. So all his sons and daughters came from every one of the parts of him. So that's how we can understand how the ancients understood the reality being born through time. That's the main idea of how the Elohim were creating through their own body the different races, species, and different realities of the 3rd dimension. These Elohim were the will of the universe to know itself, to look for tools, for different ways to understand itself. So they understood that the creation of life would be a way in which, through evolution, they could experience different processes, different aspects of themselves. So they start to take the shapes of the geometry instead of the vibration. They stopped being waves through time, and they began to have the shapes of the living beings in the reality of space of the universe.